and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Talk the Talk. I am coming to you all the way from the mother city of Cape Town, and I'm so honored to have another amazing woman sitting right next to me. So, Maryka Meldau is the Group HR Manager at Rola Motor Group, and she is said to be committed, proactive, experienced individual who enjoys working in a diverse environment, offering her expert advice on all HR systems, strategies, and people initiatives is just but amongst the few job duties of which she fulfills. From my experience of arranging and organizing this trip, I must say I believe Maryka to be an individual that is observant, analytical, and have the ability to think critically and efficiently. I would say she is a skilled communicator with excellent problem solving, observation, and interpersonal skills. And so without any further delay and in utmost anticipation, let me welcome Maryka, and this interview is proudly brought to you by Sariti Solutions. Hello, Maryka.
Hello, Dave.
Thank you so much, not just for joining me, but picking me up from the airport and listening to, I'm actually called talkalot.com in my office, so you had to listen to all of that. Thank you so much for having me.
It's only a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me too.
You're welcome. Like that's a bit weird because I have to thank you for having me here because we're obviously shooting off-site, and then you're going to have to say thank you so much for having me as well. But Maryka, it's so amazing. We've been chatting to each other. You are a nominee for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards.
Yes, I am.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You made it to the top 300 or top 30 in your category, and that's amazing because there was over 4,000 nominations.
Sure.
So well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so maybe we can tell our audience, get some more votes for you this year. So let's tell our audience, our followers, who you are, where did this journey in motoring begin, and let's talk a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So my journey in motoring actually started about 3 years ago. I had my own practice as an industrial psychologist in Stellenbosch. I came to Rola via a very powerful lady who wanted me to be introduced to the business. I thought I'll be signing them up as a client, and I ended up eventually starting to work here. So it was actually in October 2019. And at the time, I wasn't really, in the market looking for a position, but the friend of mine who's actually a client of Rola's told me all about Rola, the group, what they stand for, their values, their DNA, and it was a very good match between me and Rola, and I then joined just before COVID hit.
Right.
And what an interesting journey it was, as we literally started our online Rola online car services the week before lockdown. We put everything in place.
Wow.
Because we realized we needed, in the time when it's lockdown, we needed to still sell cars. And we were not really our footprint online was not as big, so we needed to put that in place. And then all the beautiful journey that everyone had to go through around UIF payments and all of those things. So that's really where my journey started, and loving every bit. It's a sweet spot for me because I'm crazy about cars and all things talk.
Absolutely. And I must say, I always say this on my show, you can be anything you want to be in the motoring trade.
Absolutely.
Here we have an industrial psychologist.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you literally just can pick and choose what role you want to play in the motoring trade or position. So tell us more about Rola, the dealership, the brands. I think you are representing 13 brands, right?
That's correct, We've got 21 dealerships or showrooms, and we have got 13 brands within Rola. We are it's a family-owned business, and we, like I mentioned, we're all about very solid values, and we really do operate as a family. So that's really very, very nice. The 13 brands that we've got is a wide variety from Mercedes-Benz, Jeep, Fiat, Alfa, Mazda, Honda, Volvo, Mitsubishi, Mahindra, and Haval. We've just opened a Haval in Stellenbosch, so very excited about that. Yeah, and that's really all about Rola.
It's a beautiful brand. Haval is such a beautiful brand.
It is.
Absolutely.
So nice.
So tell me, Maryka, what do you actually enjoy most about your role? I mean, you deal with a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And it could get frustrating at times. Tell me all the good and the bad.
I think the nice part about my position is the diversity that it holds, because it's about, like you mentioned, obviously the core focus is people. However, it's everything from hiring till the very sad firing side. So everything HR, and then of course I have the beautiful opportunity of coaching people in my position as well, and assisting managers and empowering managers to manage their staff better. So yeah, my position really does hold. The opportunity that it also holds is the fact that I get to engage with such a vast variety of people and personalities. So we also do psychometric assessments for both personal development, but also recruitment. So yeah, I really do get the highs and the lows, all things people within Rola. So that's the nice part.
And who has been an inspiration to you?
Yeah, so I think I'm always inspired by leaders who are able to put themselves aside for a bit and really focus on the greater good, the greater need of this person sitting in front of you. I'm an absolute firm believer that any sustainable good relationship has got three components to it: love, trust, and care, and respect. Respect and care. And I really appreciate it when a leader are able to showcase those values. And the inspirational woman that I've had along my road. So the other lady that was also very inspirational to me was a lady called Nerine Brink. It's the lady who also showed me towards Rola, also heads up her entire practice in employee benefits. Also a powerful lady. And then of course from a young girl, my own mother was an inspiration. I'm very inspired by women like my mother, that they can sit around tables, with strong men, but still at the same time keep their femininity.
Absolutely, absolutely. So is there anything you would have done differently in terms of your role, or in terms of you moving up the ranks and taking these positions, the more managerial positions in your career? Anything different you would have done?
I wouldn't do anything differently, Desh. I was blessed and fortunate enough to have good opportunities, but I think I would have liked to have believed in my own worth and my own competence sooner in my life. We often critically review ourselves to the standards or expectations of other people, and I think the key is actually just to be a better version of yourself that you were yesterday. And I think that would be the only thing I would change. I also think I would have liked to join this industry much sooner. I mean, I come from the financial services industry and even telecommunications and hospitality in the Maldives and so forth, but I really would have liked to join this industry sooner, because it's so much fun.
Absolutely. I like what you said, just try and be a better version of yourself. There's no need to do the competition thing. There's no need to compete with anybody. In fact, you should be your own competition. You are such a great champion for everything that we stand for and everything that we do in terms of women empowerment. Why?
I think that women bring so much to the table. I mean, we are strong individuals who have so many roles that, I mean, you are career woman by day, mother by night. So and I think we need to get to the point where we celebrate who we are, you know, so much more often, because I think the other thing about women is we have all these boundaries that we put for ourselves mentally, and I think we need to stop doing that, because we are only as strong as we think. And I think there was someone familiar or someone popular or whatever that always used to say that you will never go higher than you think, and that's so true, you know, whether you are thinking that you're good or whether you're a person that thinks that you're bad, you are right, because however you see yourself is exactly the way that other people see you. You know, we actually teach people how to treat us. So if you are someone who always jump up and down and kind of, you know, fall for any standard or whatever, people will treat you as that. If you are a woman with good values and good standards, men and all people in general actually appreciate standards. And often we shy away from what we have set for ourselves as certain standards. And we shouldn't be doing that. You should be proud of who you are. And I think that's the big thing, you know, for me. And I think another thing of my position is that I can actually educate people to trust and believe in themselves.
That is so important for us to champion for each other, to lift each other up.
Absolutely.
There's a place for all of us here.
Absolutely.
And it's so important to just, you know, to just be there for each other.
Yes.
And instead of breaking each other down, just lift each other up. And, you know, unfortunately, you have women that do that, you know, that they want to break each other down, that feel that they need to race to the top. You know, and you cannot, I love this one saying that my guru preaches, and it's that if you are, you know, if you believe that your success is called success at the defeat or failure of someone else, that is actually not success. That is a sickness.
Absolutely.
Literally, it's a sickness. That's very nice. And how do you feel about the Motoring Woman of the Year awards? Obviously, you're a nominee.
I'm so excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah, very excited about the opportunity. I've seen the page. I've looked at all these beautiful, you know, the ceremonies and stuff that you've had, and they're mainly up in Sandton and we're down in Cape Town, and I'm like, I so need to do this. So I was really very, very happy to be nominated by our CFO, and so very expectant of the journey and very excited.
And then in terms of any inspiring words that you'd like to you know, offer to viewers, or any woman that actually anticipates or, you know, aspires to be in the motoring trade?
I love that small saying that they say fall down 8 times but get up 9.
Love it.
It's short and sweet, and I think resilience is definitely the skill of the future. And if you think about all the changes and stuff that COVID brought about, and just in general life, you know, the only constant thing is change. So if you can be an individual that easily bounce back, then, you know, that's ideal. So I always keep, if I feel like I've failed, I always remind myself that you should, like I said, fall down 8 times but get up 9. So always get up, never stay down, and persist in whatever you do. Don't accept failure as final, see it as feedback.
Absolutely. And, you know, do not procrastinate so much about it. They say procrastination is actually the grave of all opportunities. So do not procrastinate.
I struggle with that sometimes.
I love asking this question because a lot of ladies says, just do it. You know, like the Nike brand, just do it. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you
only a
so much
pleasure.
for having us here. The dealership is absolutely beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
I get to see Table Mountain in front of me. This is exciting. It's not an everyday
Yeah.
thing. So I thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having me as well and for coming all this way. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you, viewers. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and sharing our interviews and our content. Our non-profit companies, the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, powered by MFC and Evo by Nedbank, and the Talk Studios, powered by Sariti Solutions, are aimed at recognizing and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are trying actually to change lives. Together we aim to empower and uplift the women of our trade. And for those of you that are searching for your new ride, please visit www.auto.evo.africa. We have thousands of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and you can actually find rollers of stock and cars on the site as well. Hey.
Fantastic.
So yeah, we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is incredibly user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews and car maintenance tips and advice, all courtesy of Talk the Talk Studios. Ladies, I want to talk about motivation. Motivation inspires others. They say happiness is contagious. Motivation is too. If you hang around motivated people, you're more likely to feel inspired. That doesn't mean you should kick unmotivated people out of your life. No. Doesn't mean that all. People go through different things that affect their motivation, and it isn't fair to accept someone to be chipper and productive at all times. That being said, if you're looking for some extra motivation and encouragement, think about the people you know who've committed to forming new healthy habits and changing their lives for the better. They can be good people to talk to about meeting your goals. And on that note, I'd like to remind you that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.